Hi there, thanks for tuning in today. Professor Jared Rathel here. Before we dive into the structure and function of plants, I'd like to take a brief moment and reflect upon one of my favorite quotes from the famed astrophysicist, the late astrophysicist Stephen Hawking. And I quote, "The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge." So, this is a really important idea as we embark upon the anatomy and physiology of plants in this module, and then the anatomy and physiology of animals in the next. Because sometimes we think we know something. Hell, my kids at 11 and 13, they're perfect examples. They know everything. But it's this arrogance that can actually be an impediment to us gaining deeper insights. So open your mind and tuck away those preconceived conceptions and let's dive into the structure and function of plants. So, for example, question for you right here at the start. Why do some plants have flowers? Some might mistakenly believe that those flowers were put here for us, so that we might express our love for one another, like this adorable couple here, which I hope my wife and I last that long. But that, my friends, is a human-centric view of the world. When we look around the world at how humans interact with flowers, it's very easy to see how humans across cultures fall victim to this worldview. As an example, in the Hawaiian culture, the plumeria here symbolizes positivity. This is the flower that you see that are made into the necklaces known as leis that are used to celebrate special occasions. Just so you know, in case you go out there, when plumeria is worn in the hair, the plumeria flower symbolizes the relationship status of the wearer. So a flower over the right ear, ladies, means that you are available, while a plumeria flower over the left ear means that the lady is taken. A trip to the supermarket reveals a staggering variety of orchids. So the flower industry is a global industry, estimated at $4 to $6 billion annually. Those orchids, they were meticulously cultivated by human worker bees in either Thailand or maybe the Netherlands, and then they're shipped all over the world, cooled on rapid transport. One has to ask themselves, who is using who? So we humans, we have created over 100,000 registered hybrid varieties of orchids. We have helped a family of plants that was previously limited to the tropics literally take over the world. It seems like the orchids might be controlling us. One of my favorites that I grew in northern Utah. So you'll never guess what these flowers are called. These are bleeding hearts. Isn't it just like us to anthropomorphize this structure to ascribe human characteristics like a bleeding heart to something that is clearly not human? So most look at this structure and they see a bleeding heart. They have no idea what's going on there. Another of countless examples is the large and showy callow lily. So these are often associated with the Christian holiday of Easter as they symbolize rebirth and resurrection. And in Japan, the incredible explosion of pink cherry blossoms, which only lasts for a week or maybe two at best, symbolizes the transience of life, the impermanence that's at the heart of all things, which is this central Buddhist tenet. Even this daisy traps most of us in an illusion of knowledge. The untrained biologist simply sees one flower here. But as we will discuss today, what you're looking at here is not one flower, but a multitude of individual flowers that are combined into a composite structure known as an inflorescence. This is the Asteraceae family. We're coming back there. And lastly, how could we not pay homage to what we call the rose? But you probably remember William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet when Juliet argues, a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. So, regardless of culture or time period, when humans see this flower, its exquisite form and fragrant smell, we find it beautiful. So, how could these flowers not have been put here for our enjoyment? Surely they're here for us. Careful. Meet Titan arum, one of the world's largest flowers, with a bloom that can grow more than 8 feet in height and 4 feet in diameter. So this rare tropical plant, which is native to the equatorial rainforest of Sumatra, Indonesia, has a radically different approach than the rose. Titan arum is often commonly known as the corpse flower. The corpse flower emits a putrid smell, a smell like rotting flesh, to lure carrion feeding beetles and flies to it. Not to consume these insects for their nitrogen the way a Venus flytrap and sundews do. No, the Titan arum, the corpse flower, is luring those carrion beetles so that they will spread their male gametes, their pollen. The corpse flower blooms at night, bringing in these beetles into this massive flower, which is also an inflorescence. And you can see all of the anthers right up here, the tops of the stamen, which are going to dust the beetles with pollen. And then as they move through this flower, looking for the source of that what must smell like roses to them, that dead flesh upon which they lay their eggs, they transport the pollen to the female part of the flower. This is known as a carpel. The top here is the sticky stigma, the long style, and the ovaries. And yet another corpse flower from Indonesia, which actually rivals Titan arum in size. This one's not as tall, but it's more massive. Rafflesia can weigh up to 22 pounds, and it is going to take that putrid smell a step further. So, in addition to smelling like a decomposing animal, Rafflesia's leaves actually look like the flesh of a dead animal. But please take a moment and let the famous Sir David Attenborough explain it below.